The history of investigative journalism can never be complete without a mention of some very specific names that have shaped the genre of investigative journalism. We must first acknowledge the fact that investigative journalism is not for the people with fainted heart, it's for the few who have dedicated their life to make a great future for a generation to come. Most of the atrocities that have been conducted in this country, ranging from corruption, killings, and economic crimes, would not have been known if not for these few people who risked their life to ensure that they unearthed all these atrocities. In our country, Kenya, there have been very specific journalists who have dedicated their own lives to venture into this dangerous endeavor for the sake of their fellow countrymen. Most prominent investigative journalists in Kenya includes number 1, Muhammad Ali, well known as Moha Wajichopevu. Muhammad Ali, who today is the MP for Nyali in Mombasa County, started his investigative journey at KTN, where he got his investigative breakthrough before shifting to NTV and years later to KTN again. Most people consider Moha as the father of investigative journalism in Kenya. Number 2, Dennis Onsarigo. Dennis Onsarigo has also been another icon in Kenyan journalism for his unique talent in investigative journalism. His segment in KTN called The Case Files elevated the Lake Legion journalist to an award-winning journalist for his unique investigative prowess that was well exuded by his convincing voice and peculiar stories. Case Files would investigate mostly on people in prison for various reasons to unearth if they were detained for crime they conducted or not. His most work is about corruption and murder. Number 3, Purity Mwambia. Purity Mwambia is a Citizen TV investigative journalist who has climbed her ladder from K24 TV, where she first hit Kenyan screen with numerous investigative stories. Her recent feature, Damned Guns Galore, aired on Citizen TV some weeks ago, has elevated her image as one of the best investigative journalists in Kenya at a time like this. About the dominance of male journalists in the field of investigative journalism, Purity has proved that female journalists can also cement a favorable image about female journalists in the field of investigative journalism. Number 4, Mike Jenga. Mike Jenga is another profound investigative journalist. Though in his career of investigative journalism, he was frequently impeded by his prowess to anchor news at Citizen TV, Mike would deliver the best whenever he got the chance to investigate a story. His most known investigative story was one he did several years ago about how people lose money and other things to uncouth witch doctors in the name of changing their fate. Now the Inolo lead manager, Mike still exudes passion for investigative journalism. Number 4, John Allan Namu. John Allan Namu was and still is a prominent investigative journalist. He started his career in NTV some years back, a career that saw him scale his way up to be a top investigative journalist in Kenya. His soft-spoken voice combined with his fearless attitude made John Allan Namu attract many international recognition for his job that he conducted with all the passion that would be required in this field. Though no longer on the screens today, people still miss his prowess in making stories that matter. Brian Obiya could be the top investigative journalist of this time, especially at a time like this when most of the other prominent investigative journalists have left the arena. In his popular segment at KTN known as The Lead, Brian has been able to exude his prowess in this field through unearthing serious crimes that have been conducted by the government as well as the public at large. In his recent feature about the secret lives of Omar Lali and Tekra Muigai, Brian was able to unearth some details about the relationship of the two that most Kenyans never knew about. His great voice, that sometimes can be confused that of Dennis Onsaligo, makes him stand out in the field of investigative journalism. These are just some of the investigative journalists well known here in Kenya. We say thank you for the effort that they have made to make this country a better place to live in.